Friends, democracies can be populist or representative, liberal or illiberal, direct or delegated, party-based or responsive, responsible or crisis-redundant, effective or deficient, whichever way you want to perceive. Voting in a democracy allows legitimacy and smooth transition to the leader and a sense of belonging to its people. That's the beauty of democracy. Corruption is better controlled because of the watch of the opposition, that it does. The opposition view, it helps the democracies. But even as social media has rendered democracy vulnerable, not only we need governments that are accountable, but are responsive too. So friends, democracy and what it means is the topic for today. Opposition plays an extremely important point in seeing that the democracies are successful. So let's find out what it means. Whereas other systems such as absolute monarchs, we have seen all this in the history. Military dictatorships, theocracies, they all rely on a small cabal of people, a small group of people, or are controlled by individuals. And democracy by far is the best because it lets the people decide, not a small group of people. The whole people elect their representatives and they make the policies. So it's the people who decide who will run them. It is less likely to go to war since the people may not rally behind. And on the other hand, majority groups could be a threat to the minority groups. There is a flip side to everything. Now, if the government chooses to serve only some interests, then there is a problem. However, democracies may have short-term vision since coming back to power will always weigh on political parties. Every 5 years they have to seek mandate once again. So their policies are dictated by that. Now sometimes it can result in unwieldy coalitions or endless squabbling and political deadlock. And they may even be manipulated or distorted by wealthy individuals, motivated media, special interest groups, and everything that is digital. Are you not seeing some of these today? Think about it. Is there a good democracy and bad democracy? Is there a minimum threshold of performance that defines a democracy? The quality and success are evaluated by the rule of law, accountability, responsiveness, freedom, equality. Though the quality of democracy is indirectly derived from the satisfaction expressed by its citizens. However, information corrupts, and it is difficult to differentiate between trusted and fake news. And then a lot of that happening today. With ChatGPT and AI-based tools available, and deepfake being what it is, it's an extreme danger to the outcomes of an election process. If fake news, for example, were to sway the public opinion, can a democracy survive? What must be the measure of performance of political parties and the governments? Can there be an appropriate assessment and accreditation process to evaluate them? We have them in most of the systems. We accredit laboratories, we accredit education, we accredit every single process where there are outcomes. Can a system similar to Quacquarelli-Simon stars be awarded? It's awarded to educational institutions. Can a similar thing be awarded to assess political, parties and their governments? That will be interesting. The major influence parameters, one could ask, what are they? So they could be fair elections, polling percentages, corruption index, credibility index, dissemination of information, transparency and accountability quotient, meeting expectations and poll funding. All of them can be parameters that describes the objective function if one were to draw that. Now, since democracy thrives on the existence of a local, centralized and efficient bureaucracy and the existence of an efficient police force that respects individual rights and freedoms guaranteed by the law under the Constitution, their assessment too must be an important parameter in deriving the objective function, which then can be optimized, maximized, minimized for various outcomes. And then you can actually build a scale to determine the performance of political parties. Intelligent weights, it all depends on what weights you assign to each of the parameters. Intelligent weights assigned to such parameters, will generate the objective function. And then solving that function mathematically can generate the threshold for democracy. And a threshold of about 50 may pass the muster. You can always keep changing the threshold. But anything below it must put the government and the party on notice. Besides linking political funding by corporates to the threshold of a party, can check its misuse as well. More sub-parameters such as credibility of voter list, EVM tamper, booth capture, unfair use of national resources, political interference, GDP growth, foreign reserves, inflation index, job growth, farmer distress, and so on and so forth can all be the sub-parameters which define the parameters which we have described earlier. All this could improve the quality of the objective function. The stakes are very high during election times. It's all good to describe democracy in these times when our general elections are coming to an end. Social media is often misused. Number of hits are manipulated to effect a viewer's conclusion about a candidate's popularity. Don't we see the count of tweets or likes of certain leaders surging dramatically during election times? Artificial intelligence that models parapsychology and counters bots with counterbots can confuse the viewers on the reality. It borders on, fake news. You're generating fake news. Consequently, voters will either disbelieve all the floats on the social media or will go off it altogether. And trust is essential to free and fair elections. One can even model propaganda effort in graph theory form. Parapsychology creates a trust network in every individual where each of us keep a mental trust network that helps us decide what to believe and what to disbelieve. The nodes in this weighted network, like the people, the institution, and the ideas, are entities that we are all familiar with. A non-linear relationship has weights on the nodes as values of the trust or distrust that we implicitly assign to entities that we know. A team of IT experts and social media researchers working for a candidate or a party can sift through this voluminous data, big data, look for patterns and make us alter correct connections and values in our trust network, thereby influencing our choices. Which means indirectly, artificial intelligence, which is modeling, profiling the thought processes, the activities in the domain of electioneering, is actually influencing our choices. Friends, it is said when elections end, slavery begins. Should we not then make elections count? With that, I will end this Saturday's episode with a promise to return back the next Saturday with another interesting episode. Until then, Dhanyavad, thank you and Namaskar.